Hello, welcome to the channel. Is this going to go? Hello. Shut up. Right, is this going to work? Oh look, you should have cleaned the bloody door. Look how dirty it is. So we've got to get that going, and we've got to get one of them in. Because that'll just go like sort of. There's no firelighters on there. There's no firelighters. So what's this video about? Well, it's about a man called Trevor Ferguson. I think it's important to record. I think if you're gonna misbehave on the internet and dehumanise people, you deserve to be called out on it. So that's what this video is about. So we'll just get the fire going first. So it's about the Eman Khelif boxing thing. So I've been sort of back and forwards debating with various people. That particular person, can't really get through to him at all. He's just, well, I'll show you in a minute. But there is another woman that I've been. She's sort of doing a zero tolerance thing to transgenders. So really, what we've actually kind of agreed. Although the whole premise of J.K. Rowling's stance on Eman Khelif is false, and the reason it is that the advantage males have in sport, I know not every sport, but a lot of sports, is a biological advantage. They are stronger and more. They have more endurance. They can endure more. So the reason that males that comes around with males is if they go through puberty. So essentially, the argument about Eman Khelif is false, because I don't believe that she went. Oh look, I haven't even got the thing opened up. See that there? Forgot to open up the ear. So the reason that, when you're arguing with people, you've got to watch you don't go off on tangents. So I suppose we have a bit, but the main thrust of the argument is that J.K. Rowling is wrong, and that Eman Khelif is a woman, because she didn't go through male puberty. So the argument about chromosomes is, I think it's based on flawed thinking. And then are you going to go around checking everybody's chromosomes now? So, that's the sort of knock-on effect of that a lot of them don't understand. So basically what people do is they want, as long as it's not, they want everybody else to be examined, but not them. When you start calling for things like that. So it could be that you've got women going around with XY chromosomes. It doesn't mean to say they're not women. I don't know about the other way around, I'm not sure. Chromosomes, is it your gender marker, is that what it is? Oh, this is really going, isn't it? So we'll shut the... Problem is I'm going to have to get to this quick, because I can't put any of them on it right now, because, oh look, this went a bit, because that is eventually just going to burn right out, and I've no logs in there. The logs creates the heart for fire. So once that comes down a bit, then we need to put that little log on it. So what I've got with the car booting, I get quite a lot of bits of wood, paper, just to get the fire going, all that stuff, you know. So things are going a bit grim with old day. Wow. Wow. Shut the door. It's actually vibrating. Things are going a bit grim. It's just going a bit quiet. I'm sitting there thinking, well, I really need to step it up a bit, you know. I'm not getting big views on these shorts like I did at first. I'm not exactly sure why that is. Is it just because I'm not lucky with them? Because most of them were based on luck, you know. I just happened to be right place at the right time. But on the other hand, it's not a big deal. I'm not relying on YouTube. It's just a bit of fun for me and anyone else that wants to watch them. So I suppose really I don't know why I'm bothered about it. I'm not really intending, you know, making a lot of money out of it or anything. If any money. So look at that. That's interesting the way that's. I don't know if the camera's picking that up the same. It's how the flames are going through the holes of the wooden basket. I mean, it's not exactly cold here, and it's more than likely going to be okay later on. But when you get up in the morning, obviously it's not cold enough for the central heating to come on, but there's still a wee bit of a chill in the air. So when I light this, it just takes that off. Can't really do much about that until that comes in. So I'm going to have to go and start looking at this. Because I don't want this to last too long. We'll go and get on with it now, and I'll just have to put some kindling in it when it's probably going to burn itself out a bit. I can't exactly open it because it's too much. That wow. Wow. Oh, it's got a bit of a hole there. Maybe I could land up getting my face burnt or something. Yeah, it's in. Right. Jesus. So that'll I wonder if we could got that one in as well. Maybe. So that one will burn. It's just to take a chill off that, chill off the atmosphere. I'm not even dressed yet, but you don't need to know that. Right, see, let's have a look. So it's where is it? Where are we? So after a 2-week silence online, J.K. Rowling returned to social media with more hatred directed at Algerian boxer Eman Khelif. I keep spelling her name wrong, I'll let you mind it. So, Ian Penson, JK's, I'll have to try and speed this up, it'll take hours, won't it? So he says, she is gender critical, which is a point of view protected by law in the UK. JK can do no wrong with regard to her views on gender. Well, that's not exactly true, right? So I said it's protected by law for the victim, not Miss J.K. Rowling. So the law is designed to protect the victim. So J.K. Rowling's not the victim in this case, she's the aggressor, but never mind, let's not. So we could go into that one. Denise Ian Bainbridge, she wants transgender women excluded from women's sports, is what she wants. So this Ian Penson's still going on about that, but what we'll do is we'll leave him now. We'll go and have a look at Trevor Ferguson, right? So what he said, I'm just going to read this out, and I'll try not to say too much, and that'll be able to get it done quickly. Trevor Ferguson, I don't believe she's wrong with that. Boxer, Ricky Neal, agree, and Ivan, I don't know who that is. So I said to Trevor Ferguson, you want Eman Khelif to publicise personal medical records over and above what the IOC has already determined because a privileged rich white woman has decided that female boxer might be a man. Right? So Trevor comes back with this. The racism card. What else could be expected? J-Card didn't decide this. It's not just this individual, but anyone where there is a doubt. In this case, there are many factors which raise doubts about the eligibility to compete in a gender-specific category. The IOC has for a long time been subject to pressures from various groups, political and otherwise, to comply, so cannot necessarily be considered squeaky clean. Their own criteria for judgments in this area are often guided by political correctness rather than scientific fact. They stopped carrying out sex tests because of this pressure. Personal medical records need not be publicised in any way, but the results of the test should be. If it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. In this case, if it looks like a man, moves like a man, has the musculature and skeletal structure of a man, and hits like a man, then it probably is a man. All the glamorised photos later can't hide this. Lucinda Ferguson. I think the important word is probably. You have made the decision based on what you can see. Can you also tell who has or has not had a COVID vaccination, as that also makes your DNA different? Some medical procedures rely on resequencing DNA. Can you also spot that by looking at someone? He goes a bit nuts after that, actually. I would continue this discussion, but since I find talking to morons very unproductive, I won't bother other than to wonder how anyone can believe that COVID jabs change DNA. I wonder how many criminal cases, this is funny, this, will now collapse because of that pearl of wisdom. Resequencing DNA, as you put it, can be attempted in a laboratory, but not in any known medical procedure. I use the word probably as without genetic sex testing, there is no certainty. What can be seen is not what medication has been taken, but the perambulation, locomotion typical to male-female skeletal structure and musculature. Males and females may have the same individual bones and muscles, but are not the same structurally, with just the addition of reproductive systems. The study of movement, kinesiology, and anatomy and biomechanics in sport shows differences between the sexes and is apparent to anyone with qualifications in this field. Here we go. I believe that my BSc in sports science, including my dissertation on anatomy and physiology and athletics, gives me a certain amount of expertise, rather more than you, I expect. I bet you also believe in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and that the earth is flat. Now over and out. Now this guy's going to lose his shit. The signs are there. So I haven't answered them. I have, but we'll carry on now. If you want tighter regulations for women's sports, then you need to lobby the governing bodies. Clearly she passed the rules, and by the way, you need to look into what the COVID jag did to you, being the first vaccine of its kind. She doesn't know anything about it. Trevor to Lucinda. Most sports already have very tight regulations. See, it was over and out, and he didn't want to speak to morons, but he's speaking to, he thinks I'm a moron, so he's still speaking to me. So, quite condescending, isn't it? Most sports already have this is Trevor Lucinda, very tight regulations on who can compete in the women's sections. Men competing against women by pretending to be women, and do so because they aren't good enough to do so against other men. Well, that's a bit of a statement, all sweeping. They are cowards and are looking for victories that would be otherwise beyond them. So what do you think the COVID jab did to anyone, and more importantly, how do you know I had one or that this boxer had one? You're obviously delusional if you believe that the COVID vaccine, you or not, can cause gender to be reversed and DNA to be changed. That would mean that familial DNA roots would be destroyed, so sons would become daughters and not to their previous parents. You seem to be unaware in your fanaticism. Am I a fanatic? No. That it's chromosomes which dictate gender, sex, not choice. He doesn't understand what the word gender means. Another one that hasn't looked it up. It's so easy to look it up. The presence of the Y chromosome indicates male. There is no dispute in this, however obsessed, delusional and politically correct you want to be. I think it's him that's obsessive about it. Anyway, Lucinda to Trevor. As I said, this is a job for the governing bodies who can apply scientific rigour instead of personal bias. As for the COVID vaccine, it could lead to any amount of genetic manipulation. Truly, Pandora's box has been opened. Trevor to Lucinda. Scientific knowledge is not personal bias in like your own stance. Are you a believer in the flat earth theory or that the moon is made of green cheese? To suggest the genetics can be modified by mad scientists via the COVID jabs puts you in that category. You need to return to the real world and stop reading conspiracy theory science fiction. Right, what we're going to do, before I answer, I'm going to look at his profile because I had a discussion like this once last week with somebody and they went and blocked, they got so angry with me, they blocked me. So, Trevor Ferguson, former parachutist at the Parachute Regiment, studied at Durham University. He's what's known as a muscle mechanic. Right, so he's not really putting much up here. Sitting Car Club. Lives in Huddersfield. From City of Sunderland. He's married. He's got 13 friends. He's very fixed in his ideas. So there's not really much there to see. Sittering Car Club. Wow. He's quite sort of, well, you can see for yourself, can't you? So he's calling, I got called a flat earther before. Now, this is what happens when you get, it's a kind of type of projection. Because I'm questioning what he's saying, because I'm questioning what he's saying, he's accusing me of being a flat earther. So really, it is a type of projection. Because really, I'm just sort of like going over the thing, and what. So he's putting himself out as an expert, but you'll know I'm not putting out what I am, what about my dissertation or, I think that's that's arrogant really. It's like, oh, I'm better than you, So I don't really want to start playing that game. If you are a flat earthier, there's not even actually a word, such a word as flat earther. So when he did his dissertation, did he not realise there's no such a word? What was I did think of what I was going to say yesterday, I can't remember what it was. I'm not actually sure what to say to this guy, actually. Uh, no, well, see, you've got to watch not be, you've got to. It's really difficult. You're dealing with somebody, a malignant narcissist. Um, I think that'll do just now. If you're a flat earther, more power to you, because I believe he's pushing that on me that I'm a flat earther, and he's sort of trying to discredit me rather than, he's not. Um, he's not. He's not. It's not a consensual discussion. It's a kind of condescending. How dare you disagree with me? He's being inhuman towards me, sort of thing. Because he's the one that's got the. I mean, it's sports science he got. I mean, he was in the parachute regiment. It's looking like he's. To be fair, I don't think he's actually that intelligent, or his IQ isn't going to be that high because he's a muscle mechanic. So he's coming out with stuff like that, and I don't think he's capable of doing much conceptual thought or anything like that. But he is coming away with a lot of information, but none of it's really, none of it's particularly. It's. I think we'll just leave it at that. I'll think about it later on, but we'll send that. I think he might block me, because he's losing his patience. Basically, he's right, I'm wrong. That's how Trevor does it. Trevor Ferguson, flat earther. So that's what this video is going to be called. Trevor Ferguson. I don't know. He's very careful, but he's not that careful, because if he's got a job in sports management or something like that, he's been at university, he's been in the forces, he really should be a little bit more civil to people. So maybe he's just genuinely transphobic, is what it could be, because really what you really should do is just treat people equally, and you should go with that mantra that there's two sexes, male and female, and treat people with respect until I mean, I don't think I've done anything particularly disrespectful towards him other than disagreed with him, because I fundamentally believe that Eman Khelif is a woman and hasn't gone through male puberty and is entitled well, she has already passed these tests to fight in the women's boxing, so there's not really, this is not a trans argument, and so basically if you've got somebody that turns up, whatever you do, there's no such thing as, I mean, you've got to go by their logic. There's no such thing as trans. You're either male or female, and that's that. So there's no such thing as trans. So, so they say that, and then they go and exclude people who are trans. But trans is a made up thing. It doesn't really exist. And anyway, even if it does exist, it means you're going from one sex to another sex. But that's why they changed the word to gender, right? So this guy doesn't even know most people don't know what gender means. It's so simple to find out what gender means. Will we do it right now before we go? We've got time. Right. Gender. Oh, this is you have to watch when you're Googling things, because this isn't really what I want. What I'm looking at is the actual meaning of the word, where it comes from, not the woke sort of definition of it as it currently stands. I'm looking at what the word meant. So gender versus characteristics of women, men, girls and boys that are socially constructed, right? Well, this includes norms, behaviours and roles associated with being a woman, man, girl or boy, as well as a relationship with each other. As a social construct, gender varies from society to society and can change over time, right? So it's, see, there it is there, that's more like it. It's a subclass within a grammatical class, such as noun, pronoun, adjective or verb. So it's a group of people, and let's not even, just for speed, we won't even go into this. It's a group of people in society who share particular qualities or ways of behaving. So it's a group. Gender includes the social, psychological, cultural, behavioural aspects of being a man, woman, or other gender identity. So it's... Where did the word come from? It's really more definition and meaning. See, there it is. That's more like it. Either the male or female division of a species, especially as differentiated by social and cultural roles and behaviours. So the meaning is... see, that's not really the meaning. That's what it's become. Sense of feeling or knowing. That's a kind of... woke kind of definition. The word itself, you know, means general. That's G-E-N-R-A-L, gender, as in multiples. So it can't be male and female, you know, because that's only two. Is what I believe it to be. So anyway, so thanks for watching that video. So I'm going to put that up as a sort of... I just think it's... I think you could have you should be able to have a reasonable conversation without being like that to people, Trevor. You know, it's not very nice. You know, I'm trying to have an adult debate about something, and we're not all experts. And I would say that I'm probably got more qualifications than he has, but that's not really... To go bragging about having a sports degree... You know, I mean, basically my art sort of practice thing, part of that is drawing the human body, and that's, I suppose, where what he's talking about is a difference, you know, a difference between males and females. Although when I was doing that, I probably wasn't really thinking about what I was drawing, I just drew it, you know. And that is, it's actually quite intense doing that as part of the art thing. You know, a lot of people struggle with it. I didn't, because I'm really good at it actually. I'm really sort of quick and bold when it comes to drawing. I used to when I was at the art college in Edinburgh College, I would stay at the art drawing class all day. So that's really, when you look at that painting there, that's my dad. I mean, there's problems with that painting, and that it wasn't actually perfect. I can see it now that I did it. Like, the leg's not quite right, but so you would be able to see the bone structure of a male. It's what that Trevor's talking about. And there's Peter Ferguson, Macbeth. That's my dad. Right. So I'm not really wanting to claim I'm cleverer than other people or anything like that, you know. So I think it's best to try and be reasonable about things and discuss things and not be bombastic or condescending. So thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.